Here I am with the boat pulled apart once again. Why? Because of all the rain we've had in Sydney and my deck screws that still need to be replaced. Getting a little bit tired of this. As you can see, I've got just about everything out here on deck. Thankfully I've got a nice sunny day. This is the kind of thing I'm talking about. So this is a container that sits on one of the shelves, which is under the thwarts on the starboard side. Let's just have a look at this. Everything here is dripping wet. Why? Found these binoculars. Should be impressed with that. Some pegs.
I'd been working on the electrics in the boat and it was raining outside, and I noticed that water was dripping fairly freely from the bolts that secure the stanchions to the deck. I wasn't convinced that these were the problem. They were just the lowest point and the water may have come to them, but in any case I thought this is a very, very good place to start. Being by myself on the boat, I had to come up with a method to be able to secure the bolts on the outside whilst I loosen the nuts on the inside. So I decided to stick a screwdriver in it and gaffer tape the screwdriver to the stanchion, and let me tell you, it worked a treat. Once those bolts were out, the next step was to clean up the remaining old sealant, which we had dried out essentially, and clean the area so I could put new sealant in. You see there I'm using a drill bit to run through the hole to try and get rid of any of the old sealant that was still there. Scraping, of course, the sealant from around the head of the bolt and getting rid of all that excess old sealant. Once I'd got rid of all the sealant, as much as I could, I then wanted to clean any of the any old stickiness off the deck, or any grease. So I used degreasing rag. It's one of those rags in a container that you can get from Bunnings, and just cleaned that all up, ready for the next sealant. So I'm using Sikaflex 291, as you could probably imagine. I actually had previously stuck some down into those holes. You can't see that here, but that's what I've done. Push the bolts back down through the holes. I waited for the sealant to partially set, to cure if you like, and then I reattached the base plate that you saw previously and tightened up the nuts. Having to work inside and outside, up and down the ladder every 5 minutes was a bit of a nuisance, but you can see that the process was very simple. And was it successful? G'day, Tony here. Just got back to the boat after I've done the recent fixes on the stanchion bolts. And apparently there was some torrential rain here in Sydney over the last few days, and very happy to report that everything's bone dry. Okay, so I can't guarantee that those fixes were completely successful, but it would appear but they have reduced to a great extent the water coming into the boat. So winning.